For those who may not be familiar with me, my name is David Homer. I have been in the practice of naturopathic medicine for the last 25 years, and I retired 5 years ago. I'm still very much involved in the health and wellness arena. Um, I'm also an entrepreneur, and this evening we're going to be talking not about health and wellness as I love to do, which is part of my passion, but we're going to be talking about money as you saw the slide that you met when you logged in. We're going to be talking about money. Money is something that for many years of my life I shied away from talking about. And I recognize many people don't like to speak about money, although money is very important for us to be able to navigate life very effectively and to be able to have the options to choose in many different ways. One of the things that we would all agree, I believe, is that the financial system and the way the um, economic framework of our society, how it has been structured, it does not favor the average person to build wealth and to become wealthy. And so there is this big gap of inequality between the rich and those who are trying to get by. And over the years, we have seen that gap become wider, that gap of inequality. And we're at a time now where it is very important for us to be able to start thinking about the future. Why? Because the world that we're in is a very different place today. It's changing very rapidly. And in every aspect of our lives, not just financially, we need to begin to pay attention and begin to make the appropriate adjustments. But when it comes to money, when it comes to our finances, that particular aspect of it, we all need to pay attention to that because we have to really look to our future. Because of the rapid changing in the world today, especially with technology, things like AI, we are seeing that job security is no longer it's no longer a guarantee. Um, in the United States alone, 150,000 people this year alone have lost their jobs because of technology and AI. And these type of changes that we are not prepared for and expecting, they're going to keep coming. And so we really have to look at that because the social services like pension plans and Social Security, NIS, and things like that, we know that they're not going to be able to support our lifestyles in the years ahead. And so this is very important that we consider our financial future and being able to plan for that. What we are, what we can hope to expect out of this evening's presentation is um, ways in how we can consider planning for our financial future in ways that were not available before. I'm going to share some things that is unfamiliar. You're going to hear some things that are as it relates to our potential and what is available, what has become available to us now because of technological changes and advances that allows us to be able to create wealth for ourselves in a way that was not possible before. And that's because the financial system globally is changing and it has changed. And so what I'm going to share with us, some of it may take a little bit to wrap our minds around because a lot of it is not openly familiar to many people. But at the end of our presentation, you will have an opportunity to ask questions about everything that I'm going to go through. I am not here to give you any hype or any pitch. I am here to give you information that I received not long ago. And my wife and I, we made a decision to partner with this project and with this company. And we are very excited, in fact, that we did because of the potential of what we have seen happen in a really relatively short period of time. I have contacted all of my family. I insisted they do the same because I recognize that we are at the beginning of a change, and you're going to recognize that as we go through the information. At the end, you will be faced with a challenge and a choice of what you will do, if anything at all, with the information that I'm going to be sharing with us this evening. And so without further ado, let me get into the presentation. And I'm going to begin to share my screen. And we'll get going. When we logged in, when you first logged on, everyone saw this screen. And I think it's a quote that's worth remembering. It's a quote that's worth musing over and considering, and even meditating on over time because it's very, very true. And so while it is that my passion is human well-being in every area of life, and I am very clear and understand that we cannot optimize, we cannot maximize in any area of our lives unless we have financial access. And to the degree that it is insufficient, to that degree, life can become more of a struggle. And so we are going to be talking about money, but particularly how the financial system of the world has shifted in ways that now affords the average person to be able to create wealth, whereby before, or in the world as it currently stands, and it's changing from, the average person is not able to. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm not here to make any recommendations of any investment. I'm here to give you information that you can consider for the good of your own financial future. And so I'm going to begin by just taking a look at this. We are in a new era. This new era has been evolving for some time. This whole digital world has been unfolding, and we have reached a place in the digital economy where the average person like you and I now have an opportunity to create a financial future in ways that were not possible before. It is redefining everything that we know about money and wealth. And I really want to encourage us to really listen carefully, take notes if you must, because what we're going to be going through, this is not something that's in a vacuum or isolated. This is a reality that everyone is going to be participating in, whether we are ready for it or not. And so we need to become familiar with it whether we are ready or not. And so please do, after the presentation is done, become familiar with what we're going to be talking about, because this is the new reality of our world. In this new world, value is no longer defined by cost. It is going to be defined by utility, access, and impact. As I said earlier, some things we're not going to fully be able to capture. Don't worry about that. Some things we're not going to fully see the whole vision of it. And some things we may find it difficult to wrap our minds around, but that's okay. You're going to get the message in the end. But I purposely am doing this because I want part of it to be educational, where we can begin to get familiar with the world that's changing right before our eyes. In this new reality, worth is no longer measured by possessions. It's measured by participation, by contribution, and by ownership. In the old world, or the world as we have known it, ownership was limited to a privileged few. That does not exist in this new order of things. In this new era, in this new reality, wealth is defined simply by choices, by leverage, which is now more accessible than ever before, and by the freedom to create and scale, which is now available in ways that it has never been available before. This new digital revolution that we are now entering in, it is not so much about the different currencies that's changing. Most of the world are focusing on the form of money that's changing. They're looking at digital payments, digital currencies. Most of what we do is digital because it's happening by card transactions. But in this new revolution, it's more about agency. It's more about what it means for us and how we are going to be able to navigate our lives in ways that was not possible or not available before. In this new digital revolution, it's not so much about trusting institutions as much as it is about trusting systems now. It's not about getting or being given permission, it is now having freedom to participate. And it's no longer about central control by institutions and authorities, it's now decentralized ownership. These may be terms that we are not openly familiar with because it's all part of the new era. But when we get to understand it, it will become clearer to us how we can now participate in ways that when it comes to our financial lives, we have more capabilities, more capacities, more access than we have ever had before. And so the revolution is not so much about what form money takes, it's about reclaiming the freedom to choose, to create, and to contribute. These things are far reaching, and in time to come, we will understand them because this is the world that we are in today. Card payments digitize spending, which is what we are doing today, but that was only the bridge. That bridged us into a world that we're in right now, where digital currencies, they are digitizing ownership and control, something that never existed for us before. And this is the new architecture of wealth. What does that mean? It means that you and I have a way to be able to create wealth in ways that we did not have access to before. This type of ownership that we're talking about is going to gradually and eventually eliminate poverty. Now, that sounds like a very big statement, but when you get to understand how this new system of the world is shaping up and working, you would understand why many of those in authority are actually saying that very same thing. You see, decentralized digital ownership, it channels income and opportunities directly into communities now, and it redistributes wealth. But the redistribution of wealth is not coming from the top of those who have into the community. It is coming through our ability to participate in ways that we did not have access to before. That levels the playing field and gives us potentials that we didn't. Today, we're going to talk about one specific way that we have access to that will give us potential to set our financial futures in such a way that we will even think it's unbelievable with the potential that it offers. We're going to go through a few short videos. Some of them are just those 1 minute shorts to help me to bring context and understanding to what we're talking about. And so they're all very short videos. This first video we're going to look at is going to set the stage and give us the framework for what we're going to be talking about. And this one is just about 5 minutes, but listen carefully because this is the reality of where we are right now. This is not what is coming, this is what is right now, and that will become clearer as we continue.
Forget everything you thought you knew about money. We're living through a quiet revolution, a moment where the very definition of value is being rewritten. The world is tokenizing, and money, believe it or not, is just the beginning. When most people hear crypto, they think of Bitcoin, a digital currency floating in cyberspace. But that's like looking at the invention of the internet and only seeing email. What's truly happening is far bigger, far more profound. We're witnessing the birth of a new digital layer for our entire economy. This isn't just about digital cash. Imagine owning a fraction of a skyscraper in Tokyo, a piece of a Monet painting, or even a share in a forest that generates carbon credits. This is the promise of tokenization. We're taking real-world assets, real estate, art, intellectual property, you name it, and transforming them into digital tokens that live on a blockchain. These aren't just JPEGs. They're digital twins of physical things, carrying ownership rights, history, and value. Suddenly, assets that were once illiquid and exclusive are becoming divisible. tradable, and accessible to anyone with an internet connection. It's the democratization of ownership on a scale we've never seen before. So, how is this all possible? The engine driving this transformation is blockchain technology. But let's be clear, blockchain isn't just a fleeting trend, it's a fundamental infrastructure shift, as significant as the railways or the internet itself. Think of it as a new financial architecture being built right under our noses. For decades, our financial system has been a patchwork of slow, expensive, and centralized databases. Blockchain offers a different model, a shared, transparent, and immutable ledger. It's like upgrading from a horse-drawn carriage to a high-speed magnetic levitation train. We're building digital bridges between the old world of finance, Web 2, and the new decentralized world of Web 3, creating a system that's more efficient, transparent, and interconnected. This new architecture brings with it a new set of rules and a fundamental shift in power. In this new world, ownership is becoming programmable. Through something called smart contracts, self-executing agreements written in code, we can define exactly how an asset behaves. Imagine a share of stock that automatically pays you dividends, or a digital concert ticket that grants you access to exclusive content after the show. Your digital identity can be verified instantly without relying on a central authority. This isn't just about buying and selling. It's about embedding logic, rights, and rules directly into our assets. It's a world where the code is, quite literally, the law. Power is shifting from intermediaries to individuals. So, the billion-dollar question is, who wins in this massive transition? It's not just the early crypto adopters or the Wall Street giants. The winners will be those who can bridge the gap, the ones who understand both the language of capital and the logic of code. They are the new hybrid investors, the digital architects who can see the connections between traditional markets and this emerging token economy. They'll use sophisticated AI-driven tools to navigate this complex landscape, managing portfolios that seamlessly blend stocks, bonds, and tokenized assets. This isn't about choosing one world over the other, it's about mastering both. The ability to speak both languages, finance and technology, will be the defining skill of the next generation of wealth creation. But let's not get carried away by the hype. This new frontier is exciting, but it's also fraught with risk. With great power comes great responsibility, and decentralization without sensible guardrails can quickly lead to chaos. We've already seen glimpses of this. Dramatic flash crashes on unregulated exchanges, billions lost to hacks, and protocols collapsing overnight. The speed of innovation is far outpacing the speed of regulation, creating a Wild West environment where investors are vulnerable. Security is a constant battle, and the promise of a trustless system still relies heavily on the integrity of its underlying code. Navigating this world requires not just optimism, but a healthy dose of skepticism and a deep understanding of the potential pitfalls. This is more than just an investment trend. It's the future of our financial system taking shape in real time. The rules are being written right now, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Understanding this new system isn't optional anymore. It's essential for anyone who wants to protect their wealth, seize new opportunities, and have a say in the financial world of tomorrow. This isn't a game you can afford to sit out, because whether you participate or not, this new system is being built around you.
Indeed, this new system is being built around us, and the rules are being written right now. The power is shifting from intermediaries and institutions more and more to us, the individuals, and that in itself is a concept that we are not very familiar with. We're not familiar with terms like tokenization. The world is tokenizing, and that's happening right now around the world, but we are not familiar with it, most of us, because we're all in this now, we're now in that transition period. We have heard the term blockchain, but we may not altogether be familiar. When we hear blockchain, we're thinking about cryptocurrencies and like Bitcoin and so on, but we may not be quite familiar that blockchain is the next advent of the internet, which is going from Web 2 to Web 3, where everything is going to run on the blockchain, not just financial systems, but every other social system has already begun migrating to the blockchain. So in this new world of ownership, let me give you an example, an idea of how it changes things. Let's say you woke up tomorrow morning and you had a brilliant idea, an idea that was revolutionary, an idea that can change the world or change people's lives. It was something that no one has thought of before. Would you right away jump onto the internet and go onto social media and start to share this revolutionary idea with the world? Would you go there and just start to tell everybody about this idea? The chances are we may not do that, because such an idea that would impact the world, obviously someone will take it and they'll use it. In this new world, this idea that you have come up with that could be of such great value to humanity, you can now digitize that. And in this new digital world, guess what? You own it and no one else can own it after that. You now own it in this world. So, and you can now start to talk about this idea, and you can now get people coming in to want to invest into your idea. In fact, you may find somebody come and say, that's such a brilliant idea. And you could say, give me $1 million for it. You can now actually sell it because it's now a digitized token. It's now a non-fungible token. Tokenizing in this world is that it gives us autonomy in ways that never existed before. And so we are now stepping into a relatively new reality. And like a race where all the players are at the starting line and they're waiting for the trigger for the gun so that they can shoot off, that has happened, and all the big players from the highest level of finance all the way through have begun the movement down the track. That happened this year when the current president, Donald Trump, signed into law the Genius Act that opened up the floodgates to make everything possible. For those who may not be familiar with the Genius Act, I just have a couple of shorts here that makes it clear to us. But just to say that the world is ready and has already begun the movement down the track. And we want to understand what this means for us. Here's what the Genius Act and the relevance of it as it pertains to this new reality that we're in.
This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act. I pledged that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins.
This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally. This is a huge promise made and promise kept by President Trump. We have a deal maker in chief, and it's because of your vision, your leadership, your determination, your skill that we're all here today. So thank you very much, President Trump.
With today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together is going to be stronger and bigger and better than ever before. And thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
My name is Michael Maybach. I'm the CEO at MasterCard, and we just witnessed the signing of the Genius Bill.
This is really the beginning of a financial revolution here in America. With the passing of this, we've got crypto stablecoins now that can be built right here in America to make every payment fast, cheap, and more global.
It enables us to upgrade the financial system, make it fairer, more accessible.
The president was able to achieve one of the most important changes in the legal framework in the United States to allow the creation and the safely usage of stable coins.
This is going to meet
fantastic benefits for individuals and businesses around, and looking forward to the great results for crypto and for the U.S.
This is a great day for crypto. This is a great day for the U.S. dollar, and it's a great day for America.
This is foundational legislation, foundational regulation that is going to unlock the power of the internet in rebuilding the financial system.
Not only that, but it positions the U.S. as the global leader in this new digital assets industry, which I think is incredibly important.
What that means for you and I, in a nutshell, without going in, those gentlemen, for those of you who may not be aware then, those are some of the titans in the industry that sit at the top of this, this system. But what it means for you and I, it means that we have expanded earning potential that we did not have before because of things like digital assets, tokenized systems, that we now have access to income streams that we didn't previously have. It means that we have financial autonomy now, and that means that you get to determine how much money you can earn. Imagine that. It's not based on the job you have anymore, what salary has been, and the ceiling that you have on your salary. That's not what determines your income anymore. In fact, in this new economy, it's no longer about trading time for money. That is a thing of the past. Hear what I'm telling you. Trading time for money is a thing that is going to eventually disappear because it already has started. You get to determine how your money is earned. You get to determine where it goes, how it's used, and you get to determine how it is going to grow. And nobody has a say. This is without intermediaries. This did not exist before. And it also means we have the opportunity to create generational wealth. I could hear some people be saying, you know, this sounds unreal. Of course, it sounds unreal because it never existed before. But digital ownership, it doesn't just give us access to these things, but we're talking about exponential growth of building wealth in forms that not only never existed, but in ways that it is so enduring that it will probably outlive us because of the reality, this digital reality that we are now entering in. So when I say it's a new world of which we are very unfamiliar, believe me, we are unfamiliar, and that's why we need to know about it. But those of us who are entering into it now, and we are at the forefront of it, it has great advantages for us. And so we want to get to understand how would this work for us? There's one way specifically that we want to be able to take a look at this evening that we can take advantage of that will give us access to income potential that is literally going to be generational. And so for those who may not be aware and those who are in the space will know that all crypto transactions happen on a network that is owned by a community. It's called the blockchain. All blockchain networks that exist are owned by communities. Why? Because it's decentralized, meaning there could be no central authority that governs or controls it. It is controlled by fractional owners, by people like you and I. And a blockchain is simply a distributed ledger that is secured by a network of what is called CPU nodes, which are just software. It is computers, and they validate, secure, and record all the transactions that's happening on this network. So as we enter into this world of digital assets, digital payments, digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, they don't run through a bank like before or centralized authorities. They run only on a blockchain. And this blockchain is controlled by components called CPU nodes. And how does a community get to own the network? We get to own it because the ledger services and the computing power is provided by you and I, and we own the network. How? Because we own the nodes. Because it's decentralized, the nodes have to be owned by individuals. That is one of the opportunities that we have available, and we're going to get to see what that potential is like. So if you're not familiar with nodes, just this short minute and a half video will give us an idea.
Nodes, the unsung heroes that tirelessly support blockchain infrastructure and lets all blockchain systems keep themselves in check. Think of them as the backbone of the blockchain. Networks require decentralized validation to ensure the security of transactions, where a decentralized network acts as a safeguard. Curious to learn more about how an everyday individual can participate in decentralized finance as a banker? That's where Miracle comes in. Node investments can be your ticket to passive income. As transactions flow through the blockchain, you, as a node investor, earn a share of the pie. It's a revolutionary way to make your money work for you, without the need for constant oversight. Our new products, Node and Leveler, are designed to make you a first mover in the world of blockchain investment. Embrace the future with Miracle, where Node, Phoenix, and Leveler work together to mitigate fluctuations. Your future starts here.
So nodes are the backbone of a blockchain. Owning nodes or owning the infrastructure of a blockchain platform is not new. Every blockchain platform that exists out there are owned by communities of people who own the nodes. And that is the opportunity that we're going to be looking at. But we want to know what is so special or what is so unique about this particular project that we're looking at that makes it so different and makes it so exponentially viable for us. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at. Before I speak specifically to that, we need to understand that not all blockchains are created equal. We need to understand that while the world is gearing up and preparing for this new form of finance, decentralized finance, the infrastructure to be able to handle it on a global scale has not been put in place by anyone yet until now. And quite recently, as in just a few weeks ago, what we currently have in terms of blockchain platforms showed how inadequate the world is prepared to be able to handle this transaction. I'm going to show you just this one short where Kevin O'Leary, many people may know him as Mr. Wonderful, where he talks about the challenge that we have with blockchain and being able to execute what the world is now ready for. The infrastructure has been showing inadequacies. So just listen to this.
Kevin, help me understand how revolutionary this is for the economy, but not just the economy, because the economy feels far away. Like how we live, how we pay for things, how we go about our life.
So in the last 9 months, lots has changed. Number one, we had regulation on stablecoins, which is effectively digital payment systems. That's very important. It's now law and legal. Number two, we've been talking about putting Wall Street onto blockchain for 12 years. It's never happened because there's never been a good use case to do it. And nobody wants to rebuild the infrastructure on compliance on Wall Street until now. Now, let me give you an example. If you think about now that digital payment systems are legal, and let's talk about a use case for consumers, your phone. Now, if you could be right beside your favorite coffee shop or pizza joint or burger joint and simply say, large Mac, mac and cheese, fries, that's it. That's all you have to say. Now, why will that work? Because your phone, through AI, knows where you are. It knows where they are. It has a digital payment system on chain, and it sends that $4 order in a nanosecond right to the register there. They know who you are, so when you walk in a minute and a half later, you pick up your burger or your slice or your coffee or your groceries or your dry cleaning or anything you want. The only thing holding us up on this vision, but believe me, there's a lot of people trying to solve for this, is the blockchain itself. Ethereum, everybody knows that name, and Solana is also popular over the last 3 years. They're too slow because you're going to be doing 100 million transactions around the world every minute. And that's going to get very stuck on those chains. And that happened a couple of weekends ago in Ethereum when all of a sudden it was just a mess when they had a big correction in digital markets.
So That happened really not long ago, and those who are in the space might remember that the current blockchains, they are too slow to handle a global system. Imagine people all over the world that's actually transacting in cryptocurrencies, and a blockchain network that cannot handle millions of transactions per second, because none of them are actually built to handle that until now. And that's what makes the difference with what we're going to be talking about right now, where we can now participate in the ownership of the infrastructure of a decentralized blockchain system, the likes of which has never existed before, and has the capacity to be able to handle a global payment system, bridging the old with the new in a way that can handle transactions immediately and millions of transactions that's necessary to be able to accommodate what the world needs right
in
now.
crypto markets. So
that company is called MetaTerra. MetaTerra is an umbrella company that for Miracle Technologies, which is a revolutionary decentralized finance ecosystem comprising of 24 companies. They have their own chain, it's called Miracle Chain, and they have their own stable coin asset, a token, it's called the Phoenix token. We're not going to be able to get into all that Miracle Technologies MetaTerra encompasses, but what I want to just touch on this evening is what is called Miracle Cash and More, Miracle Pay, which are the aspects of the global payment system that accommodates crypto and fiat transactions in a very seamless way, bridging the old and the new in a way that has never existed before. And I'm also going to touch on BELLATOR. BELLATOR is also a company within the ecosystem that is the marketing arm for Miracle Technologies. And so the MetaTerra is governed by a lineup of very distinguished gentlemen. I'm not going to spend time going into it, but it is their icons on Wall Street. Kevin O'Leary talked about Wall Street has been trying to bring blockchain to Wall Street. Well, MetaTerra is actually taking blockchain technology and a global financial ecosystem, the first of its type, to Wall Street. Right now, MetaTerra is listed on the lower NASDAQ, and during the course of 2026, expected to rise to become listed on the NASDAQ as the first blockchain DeFi ecosystem that's on a global scale that's listed on the NASDAQ, and that's a huge achievement. But you have the Wall Street icons. You have people like Stephen Moore, who's a global economist, John Bear, whose technology began the cell phone, whose technology has developed into streaming systems today, and whose technology is what's the backbone of Google today. We have people they're people that are veterans in their space, and I'm not going to spend any time on that. You could actually look them up on the website and what MetaTerra is all about. There's too much out there for us to get into. But just to talk a little bit about Miracle Cash and More as it relates to our participation in a global financial system. Miracle Cash and More, the entire system, headquarters out of Europe. They have offices, they have businesses, and they have real world brick and mortar stores, crypto stores across Europe. They have offices across Europe as well, and here in the United States. They are regulated and licensed by MiCA, which is the European equivalent of the US SEC. And they have developed over the last 7 years, they've been building and developing a financial ecosystem that is a complete financial ecosystem that offers everything from crypto ATMs, debit, credit card payments, and they have all that is needed in the banking world, but in a decentralized way. And so just to give an idea of what it's offering, because this is the system that is being rolled out globally, where we get to own a part of the infrastructure. But what does that mean for us to own this? And I want to show us how grand this really is and what sets it apart from what currently exists with other systems that's either being built or that has been here before. So just look at this short video about Miracle Pay, which is the system that bridges the old and the new, and Miracle Cash and More, which is an entire banking infrastructure that is able to accommodate and bridge the old and the new.
Welcome to Miracle Pay. Miracle Pay stands as a revolutionary crypto payment gateway designed to address the evolving landscape of transactions shifting towards blockchain. In a world where over 90% of e-commerce transactions occur through credit and debit cards, there's a growing consumer demand for the ability to purchase goods using cryptocurrencies. However, the challenge for e-commerce sites lies in managing various cryptocurrency wallets and integrating them seamlessly into their accounting processes. Key features: 1. Unified solution. Miracle Pay Online offers a comprehensive solution by allowing e-commerce sites to connect through an API or widget compatible with platforms like WordPress or Shopify. This enables the collection of payments through multiple cryptocurrencies, eliminating the need for merchants to manage separate wallets. 2. Merchant flexibility. Merchants have the flexibility to choose from a variety of cryptocurrencies offered by Miracle Pay Online. They can decide whether to use all available options or select specific ones, tailoring the payment process to their preferences. 2. Settlement options. Unlike other products in the market, Miracle Pay Online provides a unique feature allowing merchants to choose between settling transactions in cryptocurrency or converting them into fiat. Merchants can decide which cryptocurrencies are instantly converted to fiat and which ones are retained as digital assets. 4. Commission management. Merchants can decide whether to absorb the transaction commission or pass it on to consumers, providing them with control over the cost structure. Miracle Pay charges a commission for its services, and merchants can choose how to manage this aspect. 5. Multi-currency support. The platform is designed to support multi-currencies, enabling e-commerce sites to settle transactions in their local fiat currency. This adds a layer of flexibility, especially for businesses trading in specific regions.
So I'm going to just stop it there, but just gives us the video is available for anyone who may want to see it right through with the other aspects of the Miracle Pay. But just so that this is talking about Miracle Pay Online that bridges fiat and crypto. And what we want to take away from here, which is one of the unique differences, is that it accommodates multiple cryptocurrencies across multiple chains and major fiat currencies. So it doesn't matter where in the world a person or a merchant may be. Miracle Pay accommodates both online and in-store transactions, ATM transactions, converting crypto seamlessly into fiat currency as seamlessly as a debit or credit card would using the Miracle cards. And so
6.
Let me just move on to this. We talked about Miracle Pay Online. Online transactions and people making purchases through online platforms is a growing trend, as we know. But in-store merchants is also something that we want to pay attention to, because everyday people, whether you go into a restaurant, whether you go into a coffee shop, you go into a retail store, a mall, you want to buy gas, you go to the gym, wherever there is a card machine, you will find that these 4 providers, Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR, are 4 of the largest global providers of these payment systems that's in stores. Miracle Pay has secured contracts with these 4 payment providers, which accounts for almost 90% of the payment terminals in the world, across Europe and across the Western Hemisphere. Ingenico, who's the global leader, has over 140 million terminals in stores in 120 countries. PAX have over 110 million terminals across the globe as well, and Verifone, and so is NCR. Why is this important? Because the contracts that we have with them, where Miracle Pay is now integrated into their systems, it's now preloaded into their devices, so that where people can walk into a store, you now have the option to pay with cryptocurrency now that the world is now open and now crypto payments are now legal tender. They now can afford to now pay in stores around the world through these payment portals. Also online, because these same providers also provide these checkout portals online. And so Miracle Pay has both a large portion of online payment portals and a large portion of POS terminals around the world. This is the outstanding difference that gives Miracle the first mover advantage, where they're bringing the technology that is needed to the world and a largest share of the market. So Miracle is the first company of its type that's doing this, and we get to own part of the rails of this. This is what Miracle is doing, has not been done before. And so we are very fortunate to be at the very beginning of an opportunity like this. So as we come down towards a close, let me just share this video with you.
You've probably heard the saying, if only I were early. Early to Bitcoin, early to Amazon, early to Tesla. Well, here it is again. But this time, it's not about hype. It's about owning the rails of a new financial system. Introducing CPU nodes, digital assets that earn daily from real crypto transactions happening worldwide. Every time someone pays with crypto, in-store or online, a small fee powers the network. And if you own a node, you get paid. These nodes are already paying every single day in a digital currency undervalued today, but set to explode in the months ahead. We've secured contracts with 4 global terminal providers, giving us access to over 100 million active merchants. And we're also integrated with major online retailers, processing billions each month. When even a small percentage of that volume transacts in crypto, node rewards skyrocket. The system is active. Payouts have begun. We're funding our aggressive expansion, not with Wall Street, but with everyday people like you. Together, we're decentralizing wealth. By owning the new infrastructure of money, timing is everything. Own a node now and earn every day for life.
Now, that in itself sounds unusual, that we can actually be paid every day. Passive income that does not require our involvement. It does not require maintenance. It does not require renewals, subscriptions. It does not require any effort. We actually own part of the infrastructure of the payment system, of a global payment system, the first of its type, where every crypto transaction that happens in the world through Miracle Pay, who happens to be integrated into most of the global payment terminals, we get to share in the transaction fees of every one of them, the same way as it is for other blockchains. Other blockchains, they're run the same way. They're run by nodes, and people, communities own those nodes. But what's different with Miracle is that we own the first global payment system of its type, with the capabilities that others do not have that gives us that advantage. That's what we have, and that's what makes Miracle and the Mediterra different. And so, in addition to online, in addition to in-store payments, Miracle has created a layer 2 next generation blockchain platform that's now also going to be offering services to a world that's now looking to tokenize. So if you want to tokenize something, you want to start to bring your business on chain to where you can now function in new ways and expand your business in ways that were not possible before. Miracle also is now offering their services to companies around the world where they've built it to where companies now can come on chain and be able to digitize their services. In this new world, things move exponentially faster. Where a company would have, in the old days, or they say it takes 3 to 5 years for your business to get off to the ground where you can break even and you start to make money, you make back your investments after 3 to 5 years. In this world, it doesn't work that way. You open a business and you put it on chain, you don't take 3 to 5 years to break even. You take 3 to 5 months for you to start clearing and you start to make a profit. In the old world, you have $50,000 on the bank, and it takes you a year to gain $15 in interest in the bank. That happens in seconds on a blockchain. This is a very different world, and the services that the world is going to be looking for in this world that's now tokenizing, Miracle Chain offers that to the world, and this is where I'm going to leave you on this video.
Welcome to the future of business. Miracle Chain, where blockchain meets automation and AI transforms how companies grow. Imagine onboarding customers with a tap, paying teams worldwide in seconds, and launching token ecosystems without writing a single line of code. With Iterato, your sales force becomes unstoppable. AI handles the follow-up, while gamification drives viral growth. Need to launch your own token? Miracle Launchpad and DEX give you everything: pre-sales, vesting, swaps, and full control. The Miracle Wallet simplifies finance. No seed phrases, just seamless access to crypto. Commissions and payments, secure, compliant, and easy to white label. And at the core, Miracle Chain. A private layer 2, built for scale, compliance, and automated global payouts. Whether you're selling online or in-store, Miracle Pay bridges fiat and crypto so you can do business anytime, anywhere. Miracle Chain. Powering the digital economy, one smart system at a time.
So, Miracle Chain, that's powering the Miracle DeFi ecosystem and all that it encompasses with the global payment systems. You and I have an opportunity to own the rails, to own as a community, like all other blockchains, to be owners of the decentralized platform or network. What does that mean? What does that look like? This is how it happens. This is Miracle nodes. These are CPU nodes because the nodes are CPU units. They are software assets. And this is a digital asset which you get to own, and you own for life. And for the life of the existence of this ecosystem, this node will pay you on every transaction that happens everywhere across the globe, 24/7. That's what we have, and it's completely passive income. Of course, because this is all now new adoption, and as the world migrates more and more, and as crypto payments become more and more the norm of daily life, any payment that comes through Miracle Pay, any of its terminals, with the contracts that we have, we are all going to be sharing in that, in addition to which any companies that come on board with the Miracle system and using the Miracles ecosystem to build their businesses, all that they are doing that requires transactions, our nodes also validate. That's what nodes do, which we mentioned earlier. They validate every transaction, they record and they secure every transaction. That's what, and because it's no longer a central authority governing this, but decentralized, meaning that it's now owned by a community of people in a network that spans the globe, which is what makes blockchain secure, safe, and reliable in the way how it is, and why the world is gravitating to it. So this is what's available. A node is $1,200, and this is US dollars. And because of the anniversary of Bellator, which is the marketing arm of Miracle, Miracle started its journey 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago, in building their systems. The marketing arm, Bellator, only began a year ago. This month is 1 year for them. And for the 1 year anniversary, they're giving this special where instead of one node for $1,200, you're going to get 2 additional free. If you got 3 nodes, you get 6 additional free. If you bought 7 nodes, you get 14 extra nodes. But that is, and this offer ends tomorrow, the 16th at 12 p.m., and that's Hawaii time. And so what does that mean for us? It means that we now have an opportunity to be able to purchase for a one-time something that will continue to pay us for years to come. And it's not something that is going to pay us X amount now, and it's going to be static. It is going to be evolving. So when you really think about all that we have talked about, here is the company that's first to market with a system like this that has global reach. And as the world adopts to it more and more, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is likely to happen when on the board of Metaterra sits a global economist by the name of Stephen Moore, who was the economic advisor to Donald Trump in his first administration and still is one of his advisors. And Trump wants to make America, or is making America, the crypto capital of the world. And along comes this company that has this first system of its type. And with the other executives on that board and who they are, the possibilities for this company is so far reaching. I just did a very conservative calculation because people have asked, what's the potential earnings? Well, the potential earnings, we can't even talk about that now because it is way more, it would just seem unbelievable if we were to really explore the potential of it. But let's just say out of the 4 prepayment providers that Miracle Pay has partnered with, they total over 400 million terminals. Forget about online for now. Let's just talk about in-store terminals. But if we took 100 million terminals and we said that people are going to just spend $5 a day in crypto transactions, I mean, nobody spends $5 in a crypto transaction. But let's say that's just for our example purposes. You're looking at $500 million in a day. And if we were to take that into a year, by 365, we were looking at 182.5 billion. And the gas fees, which are the transaction fees of the network, is a 3%, which is 5.475 billion total, of which the node holders share in up to 30% of that. And in Miracle's network, there are only ever going to be 210,000 nodes. That is the entire limit of their chain network. If we took this figure and divided it by 210,000 nodes, it works out to be just almost $8,000 per node. If you happen to have gotten the special where you got 3 for the price of 1, but then you can multiply that by 3. But when you consider that right now, and the stats are out there that you can verify, that $4 trillion right now are being held in crypto wallets around the world. If we only took a small percentage, if we only took 10% of the $4 trillion in cryptocurrencies held in crypto wallets around the world, and chances are, with what Miracle is doing, it's likely to be more than 10%. But let's say 90% of it didn't come through Miracle. It was only 10% of that volume of crypto came through the Miracle Pay system. If you work the numbers, which I did, it works out to be almost $18,000 per node. And that's using it at this level. So the potential for what this could mean as the world continues to adopt, because the day is going to come. By 2030, which is 5 years, that's no time. I mean, COVID was just 5 years ago, and COVID was just not long ago. The world is going to be a very different place, and digital and crypto transactions are going to become commonplace by that time. And this system, what will be happening with it and what the potential could be. And when you consider that this is just passive income that is being paid to us continuously because we happen to be owners of the network across the globe. That's the opportunity that we have today. And we are being paid on every transaction that happens globally, and it is shared evenly among all the nodes. And as the world adopts to it, our income is likely to increase. And it is not dependent on any economy, on a local economy. If the economy in where you live in whatever part of the world may be affected or may be down for whatever reason, that does not play into our income. The asset which we own for life, it's transferable, it's saleable, it's willable. And in addition to that, within the Miracle ecosystem through BELLATOR, there's an optional referral program where it gives us even access to other streams of income without being continuously engaged in the efforts. And so it's a very unique opportunity that we have with Miracle under Metaterra, and that's the opportunity that we have. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and give those of you who are here an opportunity to ask any questions about anything that we've gone through so far. If there's anything that I am unable to answer, I'm sure we will be able to get the answer for you because I am also learning this space. I have been in the financial markets for a number of years. On the other side of trading, I have done, reasonably well in the financial markets on the trading side of it. But there's a lot more risk when it comes to trading and buying and selling. But what I love about this is that this is the back end. And so there is a constant stream of income that does not involve the risk when it comes to trading in the financial markets. And so whatever I can answer for you, I certainly will do my best to do that. Let me just unmute your mics so that you are free to unmute your mics, or you can type into the chat if you have any questions at all.
Good evening, David. I must say, another excellent job presenting a wealth of information. So much of this is such new language. It's a whole new paradigm shift for many of us. It certainly has been for me. But just to capsulize the important thing here for any new guests on the call tonight. So we are able to purchase a node, which is licensed software that validates the transaction in order for people partnering with this company to get paid a fraction of all the transactions that take place globally. That's how I understand it. And so you're saying that there is a special promotion right now where you can purchase one node and get 2 extra ones for the sum of $1,200 US.
Correct.
So are there any other fees that anyone would need to pay on a monthly basis? Anything at all that people can expect to have to lay out in terms of funds?
No, it's a one-time purchase. There is no hidden fine print that's going to require that you have to pay any maintenance fees, any subscription fees, any renewal fees. Nothing happens after that. It's a one-time payment that continues to pay us for the rest of our lives or for the life of the duration of this global institution. And so, no, there are no other fees or any hidden fees involved in it. In fact, we get more than what I mentioned, we actually get in terms of it's not just being paid in the Phoenix token, there's other tokens that we're also mining, and that's what we're talking about. We're not in the trading side of the crypto environment. We are in the mining side of it, what they call crypto mining, where we mine the tokens, and the tokens increase in value as it's more and more adopted. And so the scale of this and the potential of it is really is way beyond what many of our minds may actually capture at this point in time. Those who are in this space would know what the potential of this is. And as I've spoken to some people who are in this space, and they're just blown away by what we have with what Miracle is bringing to the world.
Well, if anyone is looking for passive income, this certainly looks like a no-brainer to me.
Well,
and David, is it true that there might be a referral fee if anyone would choose to share this with someone they care about, family, friend, that type of thing?
Yes, that the referral program that I just briefly made mention of is they do have a referral program, which some of the guests that we have here, you were here because someone referred you or invited you to be here, and that's optional, but a person can choose to refer others to it or share this opportunity with others. And that fee, I mean, it's $225 for every person that you may refer, and then that expands into other streams of income. And it works unlike the traditional systems of networking or referral programs, in that it does not require, first of all, it's optional, and then it does not require the individual to have to meet monthly sales requirements, monthly volume requirements, monthly subscription requirements, monthly recruiting requirements. It doesn't have any of that in it. And so it has a lot of ease and flow with it. But it also has multiple streams of income for those who choose to take part in the referral program. For those who just may want to be investors and just invest in it and have it as passive income for part of your financial future, because as time goes by, what happens is that that income will continually keep increasing as the world adopts more and more to this new digital system of payments. What is interesting, and I don't think I mentioned, is that to purchase to make your purchase, the easiest way to do it, of course, is with crypto because it is a blockchain venture, and that is the fastest and the easiest way to do it. Depending on where you live, the other way you can do it is right now. Only in the United States you have the option of a credit card that can do it. In Canada, or of course, if you live in Europe, you have the option of a credit card as well, because that's the base of the company. The other option would be a direct wire transfer to the company. If you go that way could take time because some of these wires, again, with this old archaic system, it takes as long as 2 to 3 weeks before the wire clears on the other side and your account becomes active. Once your account becomes active and your wallet is connected, you start earning your tokens the very next day. And but it takes a couple of weeks when you do a wire. If you do crypto, it happens almost instantly. And so those are the ways of how you will make your purchase. For those who live in the US, getting access to crypto may be easier. For those who may live in the islands, in the Caribbean, it may be a little bit more, you may have a little bit more challenging to get it, but there are options that you have. And we do have connections where we can help you to access crypto in making your payments. And we can always work it out with you privately. Anyone who may want to make a purchase and do it through crypto, we can work with you individually to see how we can support that for those of you who don't have access to crypto. Okay, so if there are any other questions or comments that anyone else would have regarding this, anything that we've been through. What we've been through really covered a very, very wide area of things, and the more you listen to it, the more you're going to hear other things. And as you do your own research into this new evolution of the world that we're in, this is not something that's coming, this is something that is here. I think a lot of people are going to get caught off guard, and they're going to find themselves scrambling to learn this system. What Miracle is bringing to the world, I think that it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to own the rails within a system like this. If you look at all the other blockchains that's out there, people own the networks in their ways, but this is different. This is a much larger scale for things of us, right? So with that, I would like to say thank you. Please speak to the person who may have invited you to be on the call. They may be able to give you more information. We're also available if you wanted to have more private conversations or get into things in other ways. Feel free to reach out to us, and we will do our best to help you in any way that we can. Or let me see, there's something in the chat box. Can this crash at any point in time if all systems go down? If you understand how blockchain works, you'll know that if the blockchain is supported, nodes are the backbone of the blockchain, and blockchain is supported by a global network of nodes. If one node goes down, for it to crash, all the nodes will have to simultaneously crash. And that's why for the years that blockchain technology has been around, which has since advanced, they have never had crashes in any blockchain. And so from that perspective, no, blockchain technology is not likely to crash. Can something else go wrong? I mean, this is the reality of the world. Some superpower person might decide, let me push the button and shoot off a nuclear bomb and start a whole, and then the whole world could go into a whole upheaval. So, anything can happen like that. But barring any extremes like that, then no. In normal day-to-day functioning blockchains don't crash. Can this crash at any time? Thank you very much for your, thank you. Okay, God bless all of you. Thank you very much for your time, and we will see you guys on the next round. God bless you. Have a good night.